Welcome to my Pick 3 at a Glance family and first-time viewers. Today I'm doing the strategy and predictions for December the 27th. I hope everybody enjoyed Christmas and ate responsibly. I can't say I did, but I hope y'all did. I hope you enjoyed it. But all right, well, we here at the Pick 3 at a Glance. What we do is take 22 numbers and do the 1-1 rundown on them. And with those 22 numbers, we have all possible 1,000 combinations in 22 simple columns. And with Pick 3 at a Glance, what we do, we track the front pairs, the back pairs, the single pairs, and we also track the single digit numbers. That's why I say that we're the home and no grids, no tic-tac-toes, no date sums, no flips, and no multiple different rundowns, because you're tracking the actual 1,000 numbers. And you're tracking the front pairs, the back pairs, single pairs, and single digits. And that's why I say that we're the forest. Because with the tic-tac-toes, the date sums, the grids, and the flips, and the multiple different rundowns, you're just looking at the trees. And most with this system, it's hard to track with those tic-tac-toe, date sums, and grids, and multiple different rundowns. All right. So what we have here is, as we track the numbers, we play by the law of average. And by the law of average, we find out what numbers are left to play. All right. And what we do is we build a bucket list of numbers to play. And with the bucket list, as we track the numbers down, we always know what numbers to play when we make our bucket list. You don't have to guess what numbers you're playing, because you're tracking the actual 1,000 numbers. And I'll say it again, we're tracking the front pairs, the back pairs, and the single digit numbers all at a glance. Everything's simple and easy to do. I can teach this system to anybody in 30 minutes. It's so simple, I can teach it to a 5th grader, because everything is right there at a glance, and everything with Pick 3 at a Glance is in numerical order. So you don't have to use different numbers like you do with a lot of the other strategies to track and find your best numbers to play. And you're going to always know why you're playing your number. And if you miss your number, you're going to know how you missed your number, all at a simple glance. And with the Pick 3 at a Glance, like I say, if you don't know why you're playing your numbers, don't play them. And with Pick 3 at a Glance, why I know why I'm playing my numbers right here, I have 3 numbers that I play. These are my daily carry numbers. And that's 160, 076, and 574. The reason why I'm playing them, they haven't failed in Missouri Evening Draw. I'm state specific for Missouri Evening Draw. But this system works anywhere in the globe, around the world, on the moon, if they play in 1,000 numbers for Pick 3. All right? And that hasn't failed. These numbers haven't failed like this in this position for 15 years. And in 2021, when I was tracking my numbers and find out what numbers are left, and I rotate them over to the next year, to 2022, I realized that these numbers didn't fall in any combination at all in 2021 on evenings. So that's why I made them my everyday carry numbers. These here, like I say, we started tracking the numbers. I started in June, but I started really tracking the numbers the end of October. These numbers, everything in red, we hit October, November, December. All right. So now what we have here, like by the law of average, the numbers that's left to play. All right, that's not circled in red. These are the numbers I look to play. So when I hit and my numbers came in, they didn't come in this year like this yet. That's why I'm still carrying them like this. But they did come in other combinations. This 160 came 016. I hit it pretty good. This 076 came 760. I hit it. This 574 came 457. Okay, and I hit it also pretty good. Now, what I'm waiting on is for them to come straight like this, and I call these Mo Money Terry going to the bank numbers. but I ain't gonna tell you what bank, like I always say. But anyway, here are the ones that haven't played, the doubles that are not circled in red, and we got these two doubles here are the same here, but these two doubles are called mirrored numbers. They're called the opposite of each other. All right. 456 901 was a mirrored number. We just hit it. It came in recently this month. All right. The 233 and the 788, they're doubles and they mirrored each other. They're doubles because they got two like numbers in them. This 456, we call them straights or singles. They don't have no like numbers. So we got the 225 and the 770. They mirror each other's. For the end of the year, we got what, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days left. I'm playing these to the end of the year, because more than likely I'm looking for one of these opposite numbers to come in. If it ain't but 50-cent box, I'll play them, or straight box. Here again, the doubles that are left and the triples. Triples, I don't invest in triples that much per year, because you can only hit them on average 3 times out of the year, and you don't know what 3 times out of the year those are coming. I happen to hit the triple eights and the triple threes because I only put 4 up here, but by tracking the front pair, the back pair, the single digits, and the actual 1,000 numbers, which is easy to do, I knew that the 3-3 and the 8 hadn't failed in a couple of months. They mirror each other. They mirror numbers. So I also knew, again, by say tracking the front pairs and the back pairs, I knew the 8 back pair hadn't failed all year. So I said, okay, 8's got to be one of the triples that's coming out. And that's how I track. If the numbers, how I track triples, if a triple mostly ain't failed all year, then I'll play triples in December. But that's the only time I'll play triples. I might carry them over the next January 2023, depending on what I get when I'm tracking the numbers. And this was a good thing that I was tracking the 8s on the back, and I knew the triple 8s hadn't failed. And I knew the mirrors of those numbers hadn't failed. All at a glance. This is a simple strategy to use to track all 1,000 numbers, which I call it the forest, where you can see everything. Pick 3 is the only one that you can track everything every one of those numbers are doing. You can't do it on any other numbers without a massive machine. These here you can do on a piece of paper, write them out, and track everything the 1,000 numbers are doing. All right? And that's why I call this the forest, so you can see everything, and you can strategize better on how to hit your numbers. And the more numbers you can mark off and see what haven't played, the better your odds of hitting those numbers. Okay? Now, so that's how I do triples. Triples I don't really play triples unless that none comes out that year into 12-month or 11-month span. Then I know by law of average, I know that 3 are supposed to come out per year on average. Sometimes none might not come out in a year. That's why I really don't play triples. I know in 2021, only 2 came out, triple zeros and triple twos. And so far already, we've had only 3 to come out. Now, I don't know, the year ain't over with yet. But you have your eyeballs, but still, just 4 triples out a whole year, I pass. I'd rather do the straights and the doubles. Straights got the best odds, and then your doubles, they can come 3 ways. Straights can come 6 ways. Okay, but I'm not messing with these triples, and the only way you can catch them is straight. Okay, now front pair, back pairs. It's powerful and to be knowledgeable of what front pair and back pair hasn't failed. For the simple fact, like I said, I hit the 8s and can make the 8s up, make a logical decision that 8s hadn't failed all year, triple 8s hadn't failed, 8s hadn't failed on the back. So I said, okay, triple 8s need to be up in there. and they did hit. All right. So here we have that didn't come out yet. It's the 37, the 86, the 95, the 28, and the 80. Like I said, this is good pickings because usually this time of year, out of all my years of tracking, it's usually about 12 numbers here that are still left to play on both sides, pretty much. But now here on the back, you only got 2 of them left. And on the front, you only got like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left. So if you plan, put 50 cents on the front or the back if you can do that in your state. And you track it along with me on your number. Now, this is for Missouri. This is for my Missouri online players in Missouri. If you have something like that, I'm saying on your front pair and back pair, you've been tracking me, and a lot of people calling me and getting and learning the system now. And they call me, and I'm explaining it better to them. If they only got 2 pairs left by the end of these last 6 days, play those. You only got 5 numbers here left by this time of the year, play those to the very last day because they will trip you up on the very last day and play your numbers out. Or if you got a number with the 1, 2, want to play 1, 2, 4. The way I would play this, if you want to pick these two, I'd play 0, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 3, 2, 4. 2, 2, 4, 3, 2, 4, all the way down to 9, 2, 4. And the same with the 3, 8, 0, 3, 8, 1, 3, 8, 2, 3, 8, all the way down to 3, 3, 8. That's how you know how to play your numbers, by the law of average. Same way here on the front. Like this 3, 7, this 3, 7, I play 3, 7, 0, 3, 7, 1, 3, 7, 2, 3, 7, 3, 3, 7, 4, 3, 7, like that. If you want to play those. But I would rather just play just the pairs, the front pair, the back pair. And then when I hit in Missouri, if I put $1 on it, it's $60 on the front pair. And if I put 50 cents on it, it's $30. And then what I would do, if I hit this 3, 7 and it come out as a pair, then I would run it down the next day as 370, 371, 372, because that 37 might come right back since it didn't hit all year at all. Or I would double up and put extra money on the 37. I put $2 on the 37 front pair. That's $120. Or I usually do $3 on that front. That's in Missouri. That's $180. That's how I do it. Like these numbers here, when I got pairs on the back like this, they played in the year, I put $3 on the back or $3 on the front. That's $180. That gives you some money to work with. I mean, $100 of 60. I mean, 60 or $30 of money to work with for 50 cents. But I usually put $3 on the front pairs or the back pairs that haven't came. Especially when I know they came out like this, I'd put $3 here and $3 there. But I already got my set numbers that I'm playing, and I'm not changing off those numbers until I hit. If I hit these, then I probably would pick up some of these pairs. But more than likely, right now, since I've hit, and you will be hitting. Once you start tracking, you're gonna need about a year's back data. It's simple though. It's easy to do it. I got a book that helps you. Not my personal book. It's a book that does the 1-1 rundown on the columns. I have to show you that on my tutorial. It's easy to go back a year's data. Whatever numbers are left, roll them over to the next year in your state, because you're looking at the forest. You'll know next year what numbers haven't failed at a glance and off of what column. It's a simple strategy. I used to start from scratch every year, and it wasn't adding up. And I'm like, but when I realized by tracking, the numbers that didn't fall the year before was the ones that were showing up the next year, and the year after that, and the year after that. That's what I say by looking at the forest instead of looking at the trees with just the tic-tac-toe, the date sums, the grids, the flips on those multiple 100 rundowns. You will always know what's going on with each and every one of them 1,000 numbers, because you can see everything at a glance. I ain't talking about you got to take out a pen and add and subtract every day. Because once you make those sheets up, all you're doing is marking off what didn't come off and where. Simple strategy, but powerful. You got the trees, or you're looking at the forest. Okay? Same way here. When you want to match up, like I said, I matched up the 8s. Instead of the 2 8 coming, the triple 8s, you could match them up. If you want to play, this is powerful. You know this ain't played. You know the 2. Okay, let me go with both of them came already on both sides, but it's the 2. Let's say the 8 hadn't failed. I'd play 2 8. That would be my number to play because the 2 8 front and the 8 back ain't played all year. And especially if I know this 2 8 and this 8 and the number itself by tracking ain't failed out all year, I'm definitely going to play it if I'm looking for a number to play. This 2 2 here on the front only failed once this year. My number would be 224. And then if I then track, every day you're going to know what numbers are left and what numbers ain't played at a glance on your sheet. If I find this 2 2 and this 2 4 ain't played all year and none of the 3 combinations, I'm definitely going to play that. Them going to be my numbers to play for the end of the year at a glance. No guesswork. You ain't got to guess no numbers because you didn't track them all year at a glance. All 1,000, each and every 1,000. This 576 and this 071. This is my update board. Like when I see something that I need to update everybody on, that's what I update them on. This 576 and this 071 hadn't failed since January of this year. It came twice as 576 like this, and it came twice as 012. And I know that because I'm tracking them. And that's all year. Now I just hit this 5-7 front pair because 570 came out. Because I picked it up when I said, okay, this is the end of the year. This 5-7 ain't failed. And my everyday carry number is 574. All right. So the 5-7 came in. I had $2 on that, but it was $120 that I hit among, once you start tracking your numbers, you're going to be hitting. You're going to be hitting, and you won't be guessing what numbers to go get next. You won't need to go nowhere, no books. You won't need me. You won't need nobody if you're tracking the actual 1,000 numbers, looking at the fours instead of looking at the trees. Once I teach you this system in the 30 minutes that I teach it to you, you do the system, you put the sheets together, you won't even have to call me for no numbers because I ain't going to know what numbers are playing in your state because I ain't tracking them. You won't need me to know because you're going to be tracking them. This system is made up for individuals in all their own states to track their own numbers. All right? The lottery is made for you to lose, not for you to win. You got 1,000 numbers of those pick 3 numbers, right? You got 365 days in a year. If you played a different number every year, you still got 635 of those numbers left. On average, that's a third of those 1,000 numbers that you're going to play, and 2/3 you're going to miss. That's how they got it set up. They ain't got it set up for you to hit them numbers every day. They got it made up so maybe to hit the number straight, a straight number, let's say like my 160 on average, maybe hit straight 3-4 times out of the year. Because you only get a third of the 1,000 numbers to hit. Come on now. Are y'all listening to me? You only get a third of those 1,000 numbers to hit. So on average, to hit these numbers exactly like that, you got just like these triples, on average to hit straight, you got about you got a 30% chance, 3 times, maybe 4 times. You got your things that's out of norm, but the basic strategy is all you're going to hit them is 3 or 4 times. Straight, exact. Now you're going to have luck, but which one you want to do? You want to play with the trees or you want to see the whole forest? And when you start doing this, you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about, or how you hit the number straight. Because just like here, like I was doing the rundown on these front here, like this 370, this 371, and you do the run all the way run down to the 9. Say you do that start next year, on average, Only 3 of those numbers going to come out exact for the whole year. For the whole year. Because you only get a third of them. You can't, if you play 10 of them, the most you're going to get is 3 out of them straight, maybe straight. And that's for the year. I ain't talking about the next day. That's why you have to track, so you know where the numbers are, so you know how to play the numbers and make them up and strategize for real. Have a real strategy. And you'll have a real strategy because you can see what's going on with the real numbers. My strategy is the only one like that out here. Nobody's got, if they do, they ain't showing up. Oh, I ain't seen them. My strategy is the only one that I can explain to you in 30 minutes. Find somebody else can explain exactly what everything they doing in 30 minutes. Nobody can explain. Nobody can explain how them tic-tac-toes, them date sums, them flips and grids are working in no 30 minutes. And tell you what numbers, front pairs and back pairs to play. I ain't seen them. And if they do, they can raise their hands up. Not to be braggadocious. I'm just trying to help us win. And I know we can win if everybody in the states start tracking the numbers and make money. I'm telling you. Because like this, if they follow this strategy and I call somebody in New York and I want to play in New York and they doing this, I know they know what they talking about. Because they tracking the actual 1,000 numbers. All over the country, all over the world, anywhere in the world if they're doing this. And I call them and say, hey, what number ain't fail in your state? I know they know what they talking about. Especially toward the end of the year. If they ain't tracked it toward the end of the year, then them the numbers I'm be looking at playing. If they didn't track that and they tell me to play a certain number. Because this is the way of the future. What I'm doing here is the way of the future, teaching these numbers like they are, where everybody knows what's going on with these numbers at all times. I'm just ahead of my time, I believe. Because you got this online gambling, oh man. If we don't need nothing but pick 3 to get these people. If everybody's tracking the actual 1,000 numbers. Believe me. Everything else is luck and chance. 10,000 numbers. You know how many times you can hit out a year with 10,000 numbers when there's only 3% of an opportunity in a year to hit those 10,000 numbers? 3.65% exact to hit those 10,000 numbers. You got a 30% chance to hit the pick 3. And everybody chasing all these other numbers. These and they keep coming up with different, but we got the pick pop, the pop up, the cash pops. Messing with them, you can't track them. The pick 5, man, I ain't about to touch that mess. Oh, excuse me. I hope a lot of people don't be messing with me, but I ain't about to touch that, y'all. For what? You can't track them. How you gonna track them? And you playing them? How you gonna know what you playing? And then when you do hit, how you gonna know what to play after you hit? Pick 3 is the only one you can know everything about. Front pair, back pair, single number if it's code. And track the actual 1,000 numbers. It's the only one. So I'm not understanding why everybody's chasing these other numbers. Because they pay more. But yeah, you might be old and gray and gone by the time you make enough money to win with those, unless you hit the Powerball to make $1 million. Did you hear what I'm saying? Those 10,000 numbers, and anybody, I research what I be talking about so somebody don't think I know what I'm talking about. Those 10,000 numbers on that pick 4 is 3.65% of a chance to hit every year. I just told you this here is 30%. And I just told you get 3 chances out of the year to hit them if you're playing 10 of them to come exact. I ain't joking with pick 3. Pick 3 is my thing. Pick 3 is my thing because I can help it be everybody else's thing. See, with me and doing this, your success is my success. Not only do I help you win, I get joy out of you winning. And saying, Terry, I hit. because I tracked the actual 1,000 numbers. Because I was in the forest and not in them trees. Okay? I'm telling you, we can do this. Everybody in my system, all at a glance. And I ain't charging for it. People I know, they charging for all kind of stuff they can't even explain. If you call them, they wouldn't be able to explain it. But it was a gift to me. That's why I don't feel bad about giving it away. Because I know it's going to change a lot of things with Pick 3. Powerball make $1 million. Every now and then a lotto. And all I invest in them is a couple of dollars. Because I know I just put my name in the hat. And if they pull out my name, it was sure luck. It wasn't no numbers I chose or read or dreamed or none of that. But here, I ain't got to dream no number. I ain't got to wish no number. I ain't got to look at no number. I ain't got to do nothing but look at the actual 1,000 numbers. Look at the forest instead of looking at these trees. I don't care what nobody say. These numbers is only 1,000 numbers. And because they cross paths. And everybody thinking, well, because a number go into one other state, it's going to go into another state. You don't know that if you don't know what's going on with the 1,000 numbers. I just told you 635 numbers ain't going to even show up in the whole year. I mean, I'm sound like a broken record. It's in each state is going to be 635 numbers ain't going to show up. I don't care what draw you're doing, midday draw, evening draw. They going to cross paths. There's only 1,000 numbers. We got 50-some odd states in the United States. Yeah, them numbers going to cross paths. That ain't because they rolling from each other to each other. It's because the numbers cross paths. There are 1,000 numbers. They do the same thing in your state. Go back and check your data. If midday numbers show up, midday numbers show up, like 1, 2, 3 show up midday, evening, and then that same day, 1, 2, 3 show up evening, that same day, don't mean them numbers are rotating the same. All it means is that they cross paths. It's 1,000 numbers. It ain't but 1,000. They bound to cross paths. And that happens, believe me, 2 or 3 times out of a year. I've been doing this 30 years. I can read these numbers backwards, forwards, and that's why I can explain them in 30 minutes. And my system, which I've been blessed with, I was able to be able to. This wasn't no accident for me coming up with this. This was something handed down from on high somewhere, other than me, because I didn't like math. I had one of my subscribers I talked with yesterday. She said, well, are you a mathematician or something? I didn't want to laugh at her. I said, ma'am, I could stand math in school. I just didn't do math. But all I did, when I did the 1-1 rundown on the 22 numbers that I found, because I knew it had, I was studying books and stuff, different books, different strategies. Now, I don't want to knock all the strategies. They got me to where I am today. But I'm not knocking them because I'm telling you the truth about them. You got those are the trees. This is the forest. The forest is of all 1,000 numbers. And what I did, I did a lineup. I ran 1-1 rundown on 12 numbers in numerical order. And I realized, okay, if I was looking for this number, it's in this column. Look for that number, it's in that column. Look for this number. Everything that I was looking for was in that column. It was one number that was left that I couldn't complete the 1,000 numbers. So I went through and ran the 1-1 rundown on I don't know how many numbers. And then I came with the last number that you're going to see is 037. I did that 1-1 rundown on that 037, and bingo. I was able to add up all 1,000 numbers when I ran the 1-1 rundown on any number I had. And that's when the game changed for me. I guess it was almost like a miracle. Because the strategy they was having is when you do the 1-1 rundown, when I was back in the day, they was saying subtract the 1 from the number that came in. And that was, like I say, ain't no mathematician. I couldn't stand math, and I liked everything to be in numerical order. I say, well, why don't I just add the number to the number that comes in? And when I added the numbers down, I realized that I had all the same 10 numbers, but they was just in reverse order. I said, oh, they're in reverse order. So I'm going to add my numbers when I do my rundowns instead of doing minus this and minus that and minus that number, minus that number, minus that number. I'm like, no, that's too much work. So then that's when I created the columns and came up with the 1,000 numbers, just adding those numbers down. I call them my base numbers. You go to my tutorials. If you're listening to me now, just go to my tutorials and you'll see how I add down. I think now they might be doing it in the future, but I think still some people minus the 1 on their 1-1 rundowns to try to find the number to play the next day or whatever they try to do with it. And that's how Pick 3 at a glance got started. Then after I did that, I was doing good with finding the numbers to play and winning. Then some say, okay, Terry, why don't you just track the front pairs and the back pairs? And they got better, tracking the front pairs and the back pairs. Then they said, why don't you just track the pairs? And then I put this angle together to track the pairs. It got better. And then say, well, now you got everything. Why don't you just track the single numbers so you'll know how they fall out of the 1,000 numbers? And that was the completion of Pick 3 at a glance. That was the force that I could track everything. Then working with the law of average, what really put it together was when I realized that the numbers were rotating from year to year. And I said, okay, because I was starting from scratch, trying to guess what numbers was going to come in that following year. But when I started rolling the numbers over from year to year, that's when the game changed. So that's what I'm giving you, folks. I'm giving you the force. Do with it what you may. And I'll be here to help you. I'm going to not try Lord's will. When you get my age, everything's the Lord's will. Because you realize that you can go to bed on top of the world and wake up with the world on top of you, all in a single flash. So family and viewers, I hope you get out of what you need to get out of this video. Lord's will, I'm going to go live the 3rd of next year, and after New Year's. And I'm trying to set up where I can do call-ins or whatever. Believe me, this is new to me, very new. I just started in June, and I'm trying to get it out the best I can. I was going to do a book early on when I had discovered this system, but then I said it never happened. And now that I was blessed enough to retire, this is my gift to the world, I guess, or best for Pick 3. I just say it's a gift, a blessing for Pick 3. Like I say, I can't track all those 10,000 numbers, and you can't neither. So I'm not putting my energy in those 10,000 numbers, and I can't track no numbers for no other states, even with my Pick 3 at a glance, because I feel people that's really players, this here is not going to be anything for them to invest, not no money in, but they time in if they're a serious player. And want to stop, I want them to play because they want to and not because they have to, because they ain't paid their light bill messing with this Pick 3. They ain't paid their gas bill messing with this Pick 3. They ain't paid their phone bill messing with this Pick 3. They ain't paid their house note messing with this Pick 3. Hey, been there, done that, y'all. Nah. So I know what I'm talking about. At missing sleepless nights, begging for numbers. Okay, y'all. I'm getting on my bike still go up. Y'all, whatever it is, I'm getting on. But I'm serious. This my blessings to everybody. Look at the fours now. So everybody know what's going on, individually know what's going on with the numbers. You won't just use the tic-tac-toes, the date sums, the flips, and the grids, and the multiple different. They got, and they call those strategies. Everybody's got a strategy. Now this here, Pick 3 at a glance, is my strategy. The tic-tac-toe is a strategy. The date sum is a strategy. The grid is a strategy. The flip is a strategy. The multiple 100 rundowns that they got a rundown, 317 rundown, a 367 rundown, a 999 rundown, a 789 rundown, a 929 rundown, a 927 rundown. See, those rundowns can be made out of any of the 1,000 numbers that they want to make them out of, except for zeros. except for zeros, okay? So, because you ain't gonna get that with the zeros. But every number they want to pick from anywhere, you can do a 1-1 rundown. I mean, do a rundown on that. That's a strategy. My rundown is the only one, is 1-1. That's the only rundown you'll ever have to worry about with pick theoretical hands, and those 22 simple numbers, and your triples. Well, your triples still doing the run right now on those. Those are the only ones. And all those will give you the forest and not the trees. So family, it's a pleasure. Thank you for your support, everyone. If you're a new viewer, I hope that you're getting the message and hope you're getting the blessing. So play them till they come. Make that money, y'all. Peace and love. God bless.